professor at Dallas Theological Seminary, and I teach people to teach the Bible. Our students study all 66 books of the Bible and take various equipping courses. And in one of the courses that I teach, I help people understand different ways that people learn, different ways that people are smart. Now, we are studying the importance in this lesson of girding up our minds in 1 Peter. And I want you to understand some truths about your mind. I think it will help you know Jesus and love Him fully, understand and know yourself and your own potential. When I was growing up, I took an IQ test like a lot of kids did, and we came out with a number, and by and large we were tested on things like mathematics and vocabulary and a little bit of spatial ability. And then after taking the test, that number was given to our teacher, and she would put us in groups according to our numbers. And we always knew, like, the really smart kids would be the Eagles, and then the kids with medium numbers, well, they might be the Robins, and then the kids that had low numbers, well, they might be the Doves or maybe the Turkeys. And it took us kids about a day to figure out who was smart and who wasn't. And very often as children, we measured our ability and we lived up to the expectations of that number. But about 50 years ago, scholars and researchers and teachers began to realize that measuring someone's intelligence on just math and vocabulary and spatial ability was by far not the only measure of intelligence. A man named Howard Gardner out of Harvard came up with a number of different ways to measure intelligence and a number of different intelligences that we had not thought of before. For example, he said that there is something called visual intelligence, that our artists and our designers have this ability, that there are people with logical intelligence, they're linear thinkers. There's a body kinesthetic intelligence for people who are athletes and dancers and craftsmen and coaches. There's a musical rhythmic intelligence for vocalists and instrumentalists and composers, people who really have this special aptitude for music. He also he talked about two other kinds of intelligence, interpersonal and intrapersonal. Interpersonal intelligence is people who are gifted with people skills. They just have this ability to work with people, to bring them together, to cause them to work as a team and to work out conflict. And intrapersonal intelligence is the ability to look inward, to think deeply, to understand themselves, to reflect, to understand others well. God has created us to be smart in all these different and beautiful ways. And I want to ask you, do any of these describe how smart you are? I want to challenge you to think differently about intelligence for yourself and for other people. And especially as a Christian, in addition to these ways that you may be smart, the Bible has also endowed you with the mind of Christ. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that works or what that looks like, but that sure makes all of us Christians really smart. We can trust the Holy Spirit to guide us into all wisdom, to help us discern what life is about and how to be smart in it. And that's a great smart.